All right, learning target 3, distinguish between correlation and causation. When I say distinguish, what I mean is you need to know the difference. You need to know the difference between these two vocabulary words. So there's a difference between correlation and causation. Correlation we've talking about. This is just in general a pattern of interaction. We've been talking about interaction between two variables, okay? So in general, a pattern of interaction between the two variables. That's what correlation is. Everything we've been talking about so far, a general pattern that you see between two variables, that low goes with low, high goes with high, or maybe the opposite, that low goes with high and high goes with low. Whatever you see as a pattern between two of the interaction between two variables. Causation is the idea that a change in x, so whatever the x is, that if the x changes, the idea that a change in that x directly causes, so think the word causation is the same as the word cause, directly causes or affects the change in y. So now what you're doing is you're thinking about, not only is there a pattern, but you're going beyond that and you're thinking about if the x variable changes or causes the y to happen, okay? So what you're going to do right now is you're going to pause. You're going to go back to the website. There's a TED video, okay, T-E-D, TED video on there. And you're going to watch that, and you're going to take down notes about what is the difference, okay? Pause it, rewind it if you need to. She's a little bit hard to understand because she's foreign, but it's got a really good point, and she uses some good examples. You might jot down the examples as well as trying to explain to me the difference between correlation and causation, okay? When you're ready, you're going to come back to this video, and I'm going to go through what I think is the difference, and you can add to your notes, okay? So pause this video, go back to the website, and watch the TED Talk. All right, hopefully you've watched the TED video by now. So I'm going to explain what I think the difference is. The difference to me is very clear by these definitions, okay? So there can be a pattern, but there are other factors at play. X does not always cause Y. So for example, she talked about ice cream and drownings. There is a pattern between the sale of ice creams and the number of drownings because of another factor at play, which is the temperature. The ice cream does not actually cause the drownings, even though there's a correlation. Remember, pattern is the same as the word correlation, okay? But X does not cause that to happen. The ice cream obviously does not cause the drownings to happen. And you have to be really careful. She explained some other really serious examples. So for another one that she talked about was autism and vaccines. There was a very popular article that was out that said that having your children get vaccines is causing autism because there was a correlation between the two. They noticed that the number of children getting vaccines was going up, as was the number of children being born with autism. And they concluded that that means that the vaccines must cause autism. And we're saying that you can't assume that. You can't assume that just because there's a pattern that one going up causes the other. You have to be really careful when you're analyzing that data. So what you're going to do is you're going to read, and I know that this is a little chunk of reading here. You're going to read through what the statistics say. And there's a mistake made, and I want you to explain the mistake in terms of that new vocabulary for this learning target. It's a little bit of writing you're going to do here, okay?